Do you know Thagki has a huge crush on you? Do you know him?
Who?
This other TikTok guy.
Oh shit, that guy with the
He has a huge crush on you.
You love him? Are you fucking serious? Ew.
I would like to think that Luke Love is more of a powerhouse than DJ Lame.
Why the fuck would you make that opinion?
Okay,
Why the fuck would you say that?
Then don't ask questions. Let him give him the cameras. Let him
Oh,
talk.
don't talk.
Crazy enough, I saw you backstage at Spring Fiesta wearing a very tight dress. It exposes the middle of how injection is a prevention.
Let me tell you what Thagki is trying to do, bro. He's trying to manipulate the people around Sonabile. He's trying to create jealousy in Sonabile's circle.
Thagki was warned for years that his new persona will be a dismal failure. However, he ignored the warnings, then instead made every wrong decision possible, leading to a moment he nearly got bitten in the middle of the podcast. The problem with Thagki doesn't speak about controversial topics, he creates them. His unapologetic opinions have rendered him a reputation as a straight up crazy man. Although he managed to get away with a couple of fans that kinda like his persona, he's a co-host on a podcast that would potentially push his name to the market with millions of views. However, if he walks the same path he's been walking in these couple of weeks, his career will be a ticking bomb that might explode anytime. Today, we're going to be talking about how Thagki is slowly ruining his career. It all started on an episode of Spreading Humor, a show under the Podcast and Chill with McG network. Naledi Malela was a guest, the vibes was chill and jokes were flying. But then out of nowhere, she casually complimented Thagki, calling him cute. What's crazy is that the same Naledi that called Thagki cute is still the same Naledi that is now co-hosting with Thagki, which is a little bit suspicious, but more on that later. Sima, on the other hand, was not having it. She twisted her face like Naledi said something offensive, and her response just made it clear she was disgusted.
Thagki has a huge crush on you. Do you know him?
Who?
This other TikTok guy.
Oh shit, that guy with the
He has a huge crush on you.
You love him? Are you fucking serious? Ew.
Yeah, that escalated quick. Now, depending on who you ask, this was either a rude joke or a backhanded insult. But what's undeniable is Thagki didn't take it lightly. He clapped back on TikTok with a nuclear energy. He said Sima's body looked the way it did because of her contraceptive pills. If you don't know contraceptive pills, these pills are used to prevent pregnancy.
Crazy enough, I saw you backstage at Spring Fiesta wearing a very tight dress. It exposes the middle of how injection is a prevention.
And then he doubled down, calling her a straight up 3 out of 10.
And to be frank, everybody knows that you're a solid 3. A 3.5 with makeup on. I saw you backstage, so I know what I'm talking about. A solid 3.5.
Now, some agreed that Sima threw the first jab. Others said Thagki's response was less of a clapback and more like a full-on body shaming. And then there were some people who were in between. They called it a mutual roast session. Sima poked the bear and the bear came out swinging. This wasn't just an internet beef anymore. It was a saga. People took it lightly, but to them, as people who are on the spotlight, it was very serious. Shortly after that, Thagki was announced as one of the hosts of the new podcast called Piano Pals, alongside Sfiso and Munaka. The goal of the podcast was to be the voice of Amapiano, a space where the hottest genre in the country could be dissected. Music, events, artists, industry insights, all of that good stuff. But that is not what really happened. Instead of talking about music and uplifting artists, Piano Pals slowly turned into a rumor mill. People noticed that the host, mainly Thagki and Sfiso, constantly spoke negatively about artists. It was less about Amapiano and more about people that have a massive following. Instead of voice for the culture, they became the critics of the culture, and that did not go unnoticed. Fans were fed up with Thagki's behavior, but flooding comments with negativity was all they can do to stop him. But as you guessed, that did not stop him at all. Then came the birthday party incident. It was Munaga's, which is their co-host, a celebration which brought together South African celebrities. After that day, he came back, blasted the young influencers, claiming they were treating Sonwabile like some untouchable king. And worst of all, he called the other influencers, quote, little influencers, despite them having massive following and most of them being more influential than him.
Everybody worships the ground that boy walks on. That whole circle. Bro, here's what happens, right? You know, me and my friends, we all equal, dog. We group leader. Yeah?
Group leader.
What do you mean?
Sonaville.
Sonaville is a leader. He's not even a leader. He's like Bushiri, dog. He's like Bushiri.
Munaga, on the other hand, tried to calm him down, telling him to take it back.
Those are my friends.
Yeah.
But you can't speak about them like that. Okay.
It doesn't matter. I'm telling you what happened.
But don't say the little influencers.
Also on the big influencers. Oh, the big one.
Thagki doubled down again.
Sunabila is sitting on the kitchen counter with Zile, and I'm standing there with my friend on the side. Sunabila walks off the kitchen counter, gets down, walks off. My friend sits there, right? Sunabila comes back. Now, when he comes back, Sunabila doesn't go to my friend and tell him, yo, my dog, please move a little set. Yeah. So they like go to my boy, they're like, yo, bro, Sunabila was sitting here. My boy's like, my boy, I've been sitting here way before you got you. What do you mean? Like, don't tell me that. Because he's my boy, you know, I'm with Thagki. We good. There's no higher power. There's nobody who's bigger. If I want to sit, I'll sit.
That time the Sonaville boys, yeah.
So the boy walks off, no? And then another one comes. He's like, yo, bro, Sonaville was sitting here. Kitchen counter.
There's no way.
At the house party.
Now, the problem is literally no one remembered this incident Thagki was talking about. Aaron, Fago, Sonabile all said the same thing. This never happened.
Mind you, bro, none of us recall. I asked the bros in the group chat. No one remembers this happening. No one remembers. I swear, bro, the first thing I was like, what? Then I was like, asked the bros in the group chat, Doug, do you guys remember when did this happen? He's like, Doug. The bros are like, Doug, we thought you knew. I'm like,
So now the internet started asking questions. How many of Thagki's story were just made up? It was giving pathological cloud chasing energy. He wants to be MacG so bad. Actually, that's a running joke in the podcast and chill community. But the difference between MacG and Thagki, MacG is controversial with purpose. MacG says the things that the public wants to say but can't. He pushes the button, sure, but there is a method to his madness. He got charisma. He's got some presentation skill. He owns the room. Thagki, on the other hand, he just talks. There is no balance. Just chaotic takes, personal insult, and questionable stories that no one can verify. Where MacG has edge, Thagki has ego. Where MacG sparks conversation, Thagki sparks confusion. Quickly after that, Thagki got into a heated argument with Munaga, which might be the reason why Munaga left. It all started when Munaga attended a big brand event without inviting Thagki and Sfiso, and the boys did not take it well. On one of the podcast episodes, they literally confronted her. What followed was hard to watch.
You know, but your fucking ticket, Munaga, that's so disrespectful.
I'm not disrespectful.
No, it's disrespectful because you are saying now we are fighting over extra ticket.
But you are,
that's
because you're making a scene.
We are not.
No,
you're the one that said these people don't want us. You told my PA.
Thagki,
You don't have the right.
Why did you tell us?
You don't have the right, Munaga. That's what you don't understand.
Why did you tell us,
what
bro?
you're thinking is these people.
No, but the thing is,
did I not?
What you're thinking is the next gig. That's what you're thinking.
She's always thinking.
You're not considering us and how we feel.
She's always doing good. She thinks she's always doing good. On her end, she doesn't see it from another person's point of view. You could have just said, I give Superma Beno your number.
Two grown men ganging up on one woman for simply accepting a brand invitation. People were split. Some said it was real, raw, unscripted reality TV. Others said they were disgusted. These bros are hurt to the core. She needs to be paid extra for babysitting these men's children. They are just mad because the brand didn't want them. Now, it's not clear whether Munaga actually went to the event without informing her co-hostess, or she simply went alone because others were not wanted. But if that's the case, that would be because she's professional, respectful, and not the type to bash the event later on the podcast. Even way before that, MacG had mentioned that Munaga was not going to last. She's all about the brand. She usually don't like to get caught up within the drama because she's protecting her dignity. So the logic makes perfect sense. After that incident, people were fed up again. Some even said Thagki and Sfiso were going to kill the Piano Pass podcast. And honestly, you could see it happening in real time. Then, just days later, Thagki really crossed the line. He said that Rizin had downgraded from his ex Lord Love to his current girlfriend Gigi Lamaine, and Rizin wasn't having it. He came to the podcast unannounced, ready to address the disrespect face to face. And that episode quickly went viral. On the clip, you can see Munaga was trying to mediate, practically begging Thagki to just apologize, just to take some accountability. But Thagki stood his ground. Well, sort of. He didn't back down, but his body language said it all. The man was shook, and while Rizin didn't put his hands on him, the message was loud and clear. Not everyone is going to let him talk nonsense without zero consequences. And again, these were the topics that shouldn't even air on the podcast. It's not about music, it's just about love. And comparing girls on a podcast, that just seemed gross. Now, here's the thing. Being controversial works based on virality, until it doesn't. Thagki's ethics have built him a fan base, but at what cost? Because if history teaches anything, from guys like Slick Talk and others who talk their way into irrelevance, careers built on controversy are always one scandal away from collapse. And the real issue, Thagki doesn't present rumors as rumors, he states them as their facts. And when he's corrected, he refuses to admit fault. It's not confidence, it's recklessness. Yet, he hasn't been truly held accountable. But one day, he might cross the wrong person. And when that day comes, it won't just be words in the podcast studio. It might be something real. And by then, all the viewers and the likes won't be really there to save him.